Now Yippee comes out, and that is it. Free kill.
Don't worry about Blur. Blur has replicated Bash, has done it another way around the stage.
An emerging theme of the Cowser Buffalo Cup has been the story of new versus old. Last time out, we got to see the new Team Gaming squad, brand new, reminiscent of an old OG squad, take on the old stalwarts of Rage Quit Odyssey. And today, that theme continues. But of course, speaking of old, you've got myself, Sun Phoenix, here, taking you through it alongside another old face, perhaps Defect, two of the oldest faces in South African Overwatch.
The Bruno squad. Yeah, maybe we should get a new caster in here or something just to get our themes going.
You say that, and last week out we did exactly that. So we will be kind of rolling a few new players or casters in and out. Of course, last time we saw Z-Time take his first attempt, and he didn't do too bad of a job, if I do say so myself. Next time we'll try and get a new face in as well. But I thought we'd alternate with a new face and then and two ugly old ones once again.
Yeah, but, so people can compare, you know.
Exactly. Well, I don't know who the comparison is going to benefit here, but anyways, let's see. We are, of course, bringing you the Cowser Buffalo Cup, our Cowser hosted tournament here. We are deep into the group stages now. This is week 3, and this is a Group B matchup. He just picked 50%. He looked it up before and completely forgot. It is a Group B matchup. And it is going to be GTG taking on Dynacor Gaming. Now, Dynacor Gaming, a team we are very, very familiar with, at least in their old guises as Leiden and, of course, the roster they were running until quite recently. But GTG, a new face in South African Overwatch.
Oh, yeah, and I always love me a new team. You see, these Miner who's been, in and off about teams varying from a Masters player to a Gold player in like the last 3 years he's been with us or whatever it's been. So he's kind of going to be the grizzled old hand in the squad of newbies. But yeah, Dynacor is the salted team. They've been through it. They've won games that they shouldn't have. They've lost games that they probably expected to win. And they're mental strong. Their techniques are bonded. They have Seraphim, who is a very, very strong leader. So yeah, I'm gonna be excited to see how this clash shakes out.
Yeah, it's going to be fascinating to see whether the new blood that is GTG is going to be able to bring the fire to the old heads, that experienced heads that you're talking about in GTG, in Dynacor Gaming. But once we take a look at the rosters, you'll see that there are new faces all over the place here in both squads. So why don't we do that now, starting with Dynacor Gaming. It is going to be Burcrow. I meant to ask how you pronounce that, and now I've made myself look a fool here on the broadcast. On the main tank, Cuberin, and on the off tank, Seraphim and Chaotic, bringing in the DPS, and Scavy and Donime coming in on the supports. Now, obviously, Seraphim, Donime, we know very, very well as two of the oldest members of this DYG squad. In fact, two players that I played with when this team used to be Leiden Esports. So most of you probably have forgotten by now that I used to play this damn game competitively, but these were my two of my last teammates. Cuberin has been with the team for quite a while now, but the main tank player, whose name I'm going to struggle to pronounce for the rest of this broadcast, Scavy, those two are new players to this team.
Yeah. And shuffling around Seraphim back onto the DPS, I think he's played main support, he's played off support. I know he's played DPS in other squads for a while, but I know Dynacor and Seraphim's coaching style in general is that we'll make you fit. We will shuffle people around and see what works best. And people have different strengths on different roles, which has led to the team being overall very sort of flexible but consistent.
Yes. Yeah. But I mean, we've always talked about, I've always had the slight complaint that they kind of a bit all over the place with their rosters, kind of struggling to find a group of 6 players that works for them. And also a group of 6 players in the 6 same roles that they don't tend to run. And Seraphim, you're absolutely right, tends to move around quite a bit. Chaotic as well was once a main tank, now on that DPS role, but he's been fairly consistent there. But of course, the big void left here in this team is that of the player who left, his name, Kiri. the sort of major hit scan
carry.
player was really Carry the carry.
Carry the carry.
Major player that kind of really leveled this team up quite a lot. Has now moved on to the, quote unquote greener pastures of Beastie Boys again, a team that is looking very, very, very strong. Second perhaps only to the main Beastie Boys squad. So that really is the question around this team. How do these new players mix in with the old, and can they sort of propel themselves to some success? But let's take a look at their opponents now. GTG Overwatch. What does GTG stand for? I asked the team. They told me a menagerie of different things. So who even knows? You guys can fill in the blanks there for yourself. It's going to be Something Cat, Restio Sun, Mako Moon, Miner, Sky Bunny, and Lixodian. Lixodian?
I'm going to go with Lixodian, and then hopefully they correct us on Twitter.
Fingers crossed. Of course, you mentioned Miner. Now, Miner is another player that I technically played on an adjacent team with when I was part of the old Resurrection, which Peach knows very well. When I was playing for that clan many years ago, there were two teams. It was Phoenix Rising, which was, of course, my team, and then Nova X back then, and Miner was on that team. So I knew Miner quite well back in 2017.
When Phoenix was this in 2017 or 2016?
That was, Overwatch came out for about a year, and Overwatch 2 is now already out. So it shows you how old I am. Once again, the boomers. But yeah, really the only player, he's going to be the one who's looking at to make plays on this team, if anyone. But obviously we're excited to see if any of these unknown players can step up and make a name for themselves.
Yeah, and I think there's a bit of a spunk, a hiss to new teams that have this, they have this fire under their guts, who they just want to go and do stuff. And I think you can't underestimate that.
Yeah.
Especially if the team clicks kind of well and there's a base level of mechanics, they can really punch above their weight class. And I'm looking forward to seeing how they land against a team like the DYG, who has the opposite, where they've all played a lot, or mostly all of them have played a lot. They're under the leadership of Seraphim, almost to a degree where he's playing an RTS game. Seeing that go against this sort of fire-blooded team, I'm super excited to see how it plays out.
Yeah, should be a fascinating display. Now, of course, we saw what we could call an upset result when Odyssey beat a very, very strong-looking Team Gaming squad, and so the precedent is there in the Buffalo Cup. Good teams beating teams that we think might be better, and GTG are going to be looking to do that now as we jump into Ilios, our first map here of this best of 5. Ilios, a map we know very well, Defect, and one that both teams, even with limited experience competitively, will be very familiar with.
Yeah, and these maps tend to lend themselves to sort of a variety of stay on the point play styles. Yeah. Instead of other maps where the point flips quite a bit. So even though all three maps you have the map of the whole, which plays quite differently than Ruins. I think it's is it? Yes. They all do have this, the point tends to stay on the guys who capture it. So I'm looking to see who wins the first battle.
Yeah, and that's kind of critical across the board for these control maps. Really, you want to come out swinging, win that first team fight. An interesting composition here for GTG. Miner on that Torbjorn, not the most common pick on this. A great poop. How many does he get? Just the one. He even manages to fly back on here as the damage starts to come through. Damage across the way here from the Hunter, trying to put the pressure on. Not going to find anything just yet. There is also a sim in play. Teleporter and turret in the mix here. Unconventional DPS not working out so far for GTG as that shield is pushed back, and now being forced back once again. A difficult start here for an interesting lineup.
Yeah, first cap going the way of DYG, and I think this might call for some swaps. This total comp is not going to retake very well, especially on a map that is quite hard to retake in general.
Yeah, this we'll have to see how many looks they have. This might be all they have. A new team might just be leaning on some of the comfort picks, and that's a bit of an uncomfortable moment there as Chaotic finds the kill with a beautiful headshot onto Miner. Funny though, she's going to bring him back into the mix now, and now they can move forward. Miner's positioning is so aggressive there on the front line as Chaotic continues to rain damage. Now they TP onto the high ground, but once again, Miner drops down And the team will drop down now towards point. Should just be a matter of cleanup. They're committing ultimates here. The Blizzard thrown in by our blue squad. That's going to freeze up so many. The headshot comes through, executing Exodian's Baptiste. Follows up the kill onto Mako. And now just the Diva and the Mercy off on the side here. There's still an Orisa on point as well. But that's going to be an easy cleanup for Dynacor.
The DMEC Diva. I am very impressed with what I'm seeing from Dynacor. I'm going to name a few things that I just like. Seraphim's walls have been excellent. I'm liking the ult usage. It might be a bit aggressive, but if the whole team has ults, it's better to use a couple early to secure the win and then start cycling them instead of everyone banking them and using them all at once. And then the fight's dragging on extremely long, and that's very good for the defense team.
Ooh, TP off the point. Now I need to watch the moves. Gavy gonna take advantage of that teleport. Gets a quick double. Exodian and Miner not contributing anything else to this team fight, and now the cleanup is pretty straightforward. Sky Bunny gonna make Restiosan die very quickly, and unfortunately for GTG, not able to bring the fight to a pretty well drilled DYG, you'd have to say.
I want to give props to Miner for sticking on the Torbjorn, and I imagine we're going to be seeing more of it. It was also his portrait of choice in our team lineups at the start of the map. So I'm wondering if this is going to be a bit of a one trick here. Seeing a lot of Bjorn come out.
Well, so far that does seem to be the case here. At least the team around him is now showing us a different look here. Coming out with that ball, Diva. Okay, Miner's going to kind of variation on a theme here.
I think it was just stall picks from the last map, where they load into the next one on ruins here.
See. Okay. So what are your thoughts on the Symmetra pick here if we focus on GTG once again?
I mean, I really like Symmetra on this map. It putting up the little turrets on the pillars can actually pump out a surprising amount of damage. Just give you the edge in most 1v1s. That said, Pharah Widowmaker is not particularly weak against that. They're playing into a poke comp instead of they're geared for fighting into a brawl.
Ooh, speaking of brawl, Mako on the Cowboy won't be brawling out this team fight, but they have at least traded out Cuban on the front line. Resurrection will come through as Widowmaker tries to put the damage down from across Pharah over the top as well, so quite a sick crossfire setup here. We have to wait and see how that works out for our blue squad. So far, they're taking advantage. No, now red squad starting to cap the point here. Good movement from Restiosan, just gonna pull back. Oh, gets taken down on the front line though. Scavy picks up that kill now, and that's the go opening there for our blue team. Seraphim with the late kill onto Miner. TP is down. That's going to be that for this first team fight.
Alright, so, ooh, big pick. I'm looking to see a lot of some adaptation right now coming from the side of GTG. The brawls obviously are working into this like disruption span, and I'm really looking for the main tank specifically to swap as well. But it looks like they're going to take this fight without helping the back line.
Well, the front line is looking to do all the work here. Chaotic, though, finds his way into the back line and finds Sky Bunny with the rocket barrage. Aggressive play, though, on the front line for our blue tanks, putting the pressure onto Restiosan, and he gets taken down. A baby Diva, not likely to last very long here, and Cuban will pick up that scalp. And now Seraphim over the top with a nice shot onto Mako Moon. He's showing he's not just a support slash tank slash off tank slash flex support player. He can make it work on the hit scan as well. Goes over the top once again. Oh, not finding it that time. But you can see how confident Dynacor are playing at the moment. They're going to throw out the Symmetra ult now. Start things off for GTG. Looks to get aggressive around this ultimate. But to find anything. Time goes up to Cuberin. Nice work. Can they get the follow-up onto the Zenyatta? Does Scavy choose to throw the Trance? He does have it available. Seraphim equalizes, and here comes the Trance. Now Mako, though, finds Seraphim with the headshot. Widow action here. This time, GTG getting the better of that trade. Rez, though, onto Cuban. It's going to equalize things for the blue squad, and Dynacor now going to push GTG back once again, but Mako Moon finds a kill onto Chaotic, the second kill of the team fight for the red Widowmaker player, and that might allow them to push forward. Oh my god, Tommy out of position there, gets taken down as the Diva puts the pressure on the front line. The ball, the last man remaining, and get out, not able to do so. Something Cat will pick up that kill, and GTG will pick up control of the point.
Yes, it takes so long to swap against a team that has a Pharah, a Ball, and a Winston, and they're just alternating touches. It's quite difficult to get that swing off, and they managed to stall for about 20% after losing the fight, which bodes well for the coordination of DYG.
Does indeed. A Seraphim now out at the ready. Mako, though, gets the better of that trade once again. Putting
Barrage
on the Widowmaker. The barrage comes out. Great work from Something Cat's Diva to eat up most of that damage. They've lost a couple of players here on GTG, but Dynacor are by far getting the worst of the trade. The Shatter to counter the Primal. Mikey the charge as well. Will they secure that kill? He's dropping so low. Izzy and Kuberin finally gets taken down, and that's going to be a whole GTG showing up all of a sudden.
I'm really enjoying this saga of the team fights happening regardless of the Widowmaker 1v1s. Just seeing streaks of Widow shots flying overhead while there's a fight happening underneath it. It's
They're kind of getting free reign to kind of take shots at each other, right? Of course, you've got Dynacor with the very aggressive tanks. They could put the pressure on, but focusing for the moment on the core of GTG.
Yeah, and I feel like the Mercy is also a big buff for the Widowmaker. But I mean, Makomon is giving as good as he gets in this 1v1.
He is absolutely, and under no pressure at the moment. Look at that, gets a kill onto Burkrow. Can they follow this up on GTG? 77 on the clock now.
So low.
They're probably gonna win the map. And they get the kill here. Kuberin out of position, needs to jump out, does not. Makoman once again wins the duel as the damage comes in from the sky here. Chaotic Minds is second of the team fight, and he might just bail DYG out of the Scavy and then pop the Transcendence here. Keep the team nice and healthy as they force the red squad back. Kuberin gets aggressive, dropping low, won't get taken down as the point is flipped now. 99 for red, 99 for blue. Overtime ticks over. The Shadow comes out, but is cancelled with an untimely death there as GTG, the last dregs of their squad, trickle in here. Primal Rage Kuberin will take a nap, but it's not likely to matter as they force GTG back, and Dynacor, with a little bit of a struggle, will secure the first map.
That was a bit more of a struggle from the side of DYG than I thought it would be. I feel like they had a very large comp advantage. The Widow had every favor. Tanks that could help her, Mercy that could raise her, but still the 1v1s were pretty even after all that said. And then I feel like the Reinhardt just got bullied, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
But he still got it to 99, and that's Jessica saying in the chat, 99, let's go. I mean, that is something to be proud of, and it bodes well for a bit of adjustment, and then I could see something happen here.
Although you have to look at that performance from GTG and look towards Makomoon and think if he's not pulling off the sort of heroics that he is on the Widowmaker, they probably don't look nearly as good. And I mean, full credit to the man on that Widowmaker. Really, really putting on a star-making performance. Maybe a bit early to say that, but gonna have to keep our eye on the hit scan player for GTG.
Yes, a very good impression for first map on Cast. But yeah, I mean, like we said, he's trading blow for blow. It's not like he's far and ahead of Seraphim, but Seraphim did have like the Mercy and the tank advantage and everything, which he didn't have, which Makomoon didn't have, but it didn't even slow him down. It's like it never happened.
They really weren't putting the pressure on him, and he is showing that if you give him the space, he's going to use it, and that's a sign of a very, very strong hit scan DPS player.
Exactly. The other thing I would like to, if I could spit shine GTG a bit, if I were the coach doing the VOD review, there were a couple of, I think, questionable tank picks. I don't know if Restioson?
Arrestio is a type of protean, right?
All right, I'll take your word for it. I'm software engineer.
One day I will also be, but I do also have a biology degree.
I'll take your word on it. It's a botanist. Yes, so I'm feeling the Reinhardt. He's doing the best he can with the wrong hero. And this is the wrong tool for the job. I feel like he should have swapped off to something else. I don't know if it's a comfort pick or a poor call, or maybe the only thing they practice is just lacks the confidence. But I'd love to see something else just to see how it stacks up. And the other thing is minor things like ult usages. There was a time where Something Cat in the last fight got demeched with ult up, and instead of remaking, he, I don't recall, goes for the he goes for the respawn, but never makes it back to spawn. They're like minor things, but these are things that can be polished out. They're picked up, spoken about, and then will never happen again. Like things like damage output and aim, those are the harder things to polish up, as it were. Yeah. So being the first showing on camera, there is a lot of improvement, which is always something I like to see, or a lot to improve for newer teams.
Yeah, lots of things you can point to easily and say, this is something we can do better going forward. We have moved over to Icon Vault here, as you guys can see on screen now. DYG.
Classic rush, loving it.
Yeah, getting nice and aggressive here, all up in the face. Sigma needs to be careful here. In fact, does go down. Cuberin hits the deck. A follow-up kill there. A huge anti over top. They might be able to claw this one back on the side of Dynacor Gaming. What a rest. Anime with the most ambitious rest I think I've ever seen. Scavier on the back puts Restio-san to sleep now. They'll make the way back to point. They're not getting kills fast enough. For Seraphim gets a return, gets a second now. DYG in control once again, but no, a quick triple kill here from GTG. Gonna allow them to retake control of the point and start to get this car moving. There's a sneaky Cuberin here, work his way onto point on the Sigma. Will he get any teammates that trickle in there afterwards? No, they won't, and that will be a very strong aggressive play for the first team fight.
I really like the way that they, halfway through the fight, they took a couple of losses, and then they took the time to just consolidate, to wait, to heal up, to stand behind cover, and knowing that they have the healer advantage, but both the enemy healers were either dead or in a very bad spot to heal. And aggressive teleport into high ground.
Yeah, teleport into high ground, but nice work from Chaotic there. Sends them packing with the boop there. He does have the rocket barrage at the ready. Does Chaotic, so that could be a big factor here. Deadeye as well for Seraphim's Cowboy. They're going to throw the window out here to start things off. Ant Matrix putting the pressure on Chaotic around the back. Deadeye as well. One shot fired straight away. No, not quite. Waits for the mech to go down, then gets rid of the Baby Diva. A very, very aggressive, decisive team fight here for DYG. But no! From the top rope, Mako Moon gets the triple kill with the Death Blossom. Can he clean up any more here? Of course, healing up here.
The Lucio's there.
Putting the pressure on. The Lucio's there. The car's still moving forward now as the team starts to rejoin. The one-man army here. Mako Moon picks up his foot. Can he find any more sticks? The lone man on the front line, but with the rest of DYG joining the fray, things are equaling up here. Gravitic Flux comes out now, catches 3 on the point. A nice sound barrier there from Lixodian. And to keep the team healthy, Seraphim though takes down something. Cat got a little bit aggressive there. There's a Diva in the back line. Oh, big shot on
big slam.
The Cowboy. That's going to be cleaned up by Mako Moon. Can they clean anything up? Have they got anything to deal with Chaotic's barrier? Yes, they do. It's Mako Moon once again, and GTG have found something of a rhythm here to fake.
Mako Moon is my new favorite Reaper. The man is nuts. He's just no fear. It's a 2v5? That's fine. I have my Q up and I'll just kill them all. It's the absolute madman. And
that's what we call when we're playing Rocket League.
He's gonna do it again.
He beat me because he's bad. Does he come over the top on the back line? Can he get any kills? Oh no, Seraphim ready for that one. Gets the stun out, and they're gonna clean that up courtesy of a tree trunk from Chaotic. Now DYG gonna move forward here, see if they can clean up this front line. High noon committed. Nice charge from Restio-san, but the call comes back up just a little bit here. Need to be careful. Dynacor going to follow them through. That's a very aggressive play from the Diva. Cuba isolated, taken down. Baby Diva now. Let it go. No. Something Cat says, I've got a bone to pick with my opposing number. And now they can start to move forward here. They throw the ultimate out. That looks big. A nice stun. Going to hit the deck there. Can they find any more kills? Yes, they can. Another 2 to follow it up. Make that a triple. The Shadow comes out on the back line. Doesn't find anything there. Sorry, that was Restio-san's Shadow. Not really need to find anything. They're closing in on the final point here. Can they find it? Is there contest? Yes, there is. Seraphim comes in. Diva now from the other side. Can they find what they're looking for? A huge Shadow comes out on the Reinhardt. Not going to find any follow-up kills though, but the damage is real. Both teams taking heavy damage here. No losses just yet. As I say that though, the double comes through. That could be a big deal though. Equalizing the fight. Mako Moon over the top. He switched over to the Cowboy. Finds pay dirt immediately with a triple kill after a fast charging Deadeye. There's a Tracer on the point now. Will they clean up not be there. So far, struggling to get that final kill as the trickle is real here for DYG, but GTG, they'll be happy with how things have gone so far. Self-destructing the point, not going to find anything. The remake almost gets a couple of kills there, but doesn't. The charge to Anime gets rid of that pesky Lucio. Baby Diva also going to get taken down now, but Tracer's coming back in. DYG doing a great job of stalling this out. Kill the Tracer, last man standing. She relocates out, but now the Ryan's back in the mix. Counter charge comes through from Estio Sun. The clean up there though onto Biocro. Donny May now chaotic on the point, just Donny May left. If they get this kill, it should be over. They do, and it is GTG with 3 minutes left in the clock effect. They set the standard.
What, is this the same team we saw last round? What happened? They were just
on the rhythm, man.
They just took like did a line of caffeine and they're just in. They're just holding W. I don't know what happened, but that was amazing.
Next time you drink the Monster Energy, just like 20 minutes earlier, so that team at the start of the match.
Yeah, take the Adderall a bit earlier, guys.
Let's start making accusations here. Whoa,
that was amazing. I don't know what happened. I don't know if they put a weight down on their W keys, but I want more of that. Whatever that was, I want more of it because it was amazing. And did someone tell them the secret to Farah is just play faster?
Yeah,
because they just ignored her. Every fight in and out. They just like, yeah, the Farah's gonna shoot 3 rockets, but by that time half her team's gonna be dead because we're just gonna speed boost Lucio, and then what are we gonna do? And they're just gonna brawl her now. So yay! Like
if you think you're better here, right? You just match them. If you're DYG, you're probably thinking we're the better squad. We kind of just got stunned by the aggression, and now we can read the game a bit better. They've got plenty of time to respond, but a huge time bank on the other side.
Yeah, and if there's one thing UIG has, it's a strong mental. They're not going to be flustered by one silly loss or unexpected aggressive push. So they're still calm and collected. They've adapted their strategy, and they're going to see what happens if we just mirror you.
Gonna see indeed now as they come around this first corner into the choke point. Aggressive positioning here, aggressive movement from Kuberin, but he's again isolated. He's almost certainly gonna go down here, but no. In fact, they've moved back now onto point with the teleport. Nice work from GTG, big brain stuff, using that Sim TP to their advantage, but they have lost Restio stun. Both teams now down the main tank. It's going to be a matter of who hits the shots, who gets the clean up, who's got the better healers, and can you clean things up nicely. Chaotic does go down. Mako Man might again be the difference maker here. Kuber now going to get demeched as well. Chaotic out of the fight here. The damage. Mine is so aggressive on the front line. He doesn't have a main tank. He says, I'm going to be the main tank instead. High Noon around the side. Just Seraphim did a great job charging that quick. And he finds perhaps the best target. Sky Bunny down on the Baptiste. And that's going to open things up now. DYG moving forward. Barista Sun, he's back. He's bad. And he's putting down the damage to Shatter. Doesn't find anything. Finds actually Donime on the backline. But a great wall from Chaotic will keep the main healer healthy. The stun through to Restio Sun to take him down. And Dynacor set the pace here just as well as GTG did.
Sure, I feel like there were just 2 cars going at full speed head on and colliding. It was an amazing just crash to watch, just these 2. I liked also, I want to give a shout out to Luxodian, and I was watching his POV that fight, and he just keeps peeling like massively. So yeah, good play, but you can't underestimate these walls and just the overall like aggression of DYG matching what they saw on the attack.
Nice. Oh, look at that. Go time immediately. They get the kill onto Scavy, and now the switch is flipped and they get aggressive. Brycro comes through the back there, gets the kill onto Sky Bunny, but not likely to get any more of this team fight here. Where is that Cowboy in the back there? It's putting the pressure on, but that was a very, very well-measured team fight from GTG.
Yeah, and I mean, they saved the speed boost for when they got a pick. When the pick came through, they would just instant collapse. I mean, that stuff I wish I had more of when I was in OG. Like, this is some high-level coordination, or at least it feels like it.
And of course, Miner well known for his Lucio play, so he will. If any team will have a good Lucio, even not playing it, of course, you tell your team how to play it, and he's a very vocal player, is Miner as well. Getting aggressive here, Restio Sun. Scavy once again the target. He gets taken down straight away. Shadow comes through on the backline. Jumping Cat though with a triple kill. Diva bombs all over the place with the red one. picking up all the kills, and that's another well-measured team fight for GTG.
And immediately goes back to set up on the high ground. Like, we're not dealing with amateurs. These are people who've been coached. So I'm enjoying this quality of Overwatch. It was coming in, I was expecting, new team, new to competitive, like, going to see a bit of a deathmatch style gameplay, but this is strats.
Yeah, we kind of saw a bit of deathmatch style gameplay on the first one, but now they are looking so well put together. Johnny once again taken down. They pull the Blizzard out of Chaotic here. The charge through, not finding any kills just yet. Donime running for a life here. Hiding from the back. Seraphim somehow found the angle, but Marco Moon will take him down, so he can put his focus back now onto the front line. Charge through onto Chaotic, takes him down. Oh no. Dynacor going down again, and it seemed like it was going relatively well here for Dynacor Gaming, but GTG once again too strong, and now they've probably got to go back to the top of the castle here.
Do you think it's about time they swap? I feel like they're banging their head against this, and GTG is just setting the pace here. They know when it's time to go, and they also know when it's time to slow down and heal up. Yeah. I imagine it's Miner making the calls, but who knows? Whoever's making the calls, they have a mastery of the pacing of the fight.
God.
Oh, there you go, speed boost on.
Oh my god, once again, GYG lose a player, and immediately the trigger is pulled, the aggression comes through, they find a couple of kills here, just need to clean it up. Rycro pops the ulti, but it's not going to find anything as he gets cleaned up here. Scavy on the point will go down. Donime, the only one drawing any blood from the stone that is GTG right now, and that's going to be another team fight, cleanly won. The fact they're almost winning these team fights too fast.
Yeah, they are. They're investing ults just to clean up quickly, when I think they should maybe stall a little bit. You can get a couple, 20 more, 15 more seconds out of a fight, and the clock is your friend if you're on the defending side. But I mean, absolutely, I want to see this VOD used to teach players what pacing looks like.
Yes.
Because this is just, the rhythm of the fight is completely in control.
What a sick sim ulti, and then Miner throws himself on the wrong side of it. Cuban gets the remake kill onto Something Cat, who just threw a mech out, and a big ulti coming onto the backline here. Can they find any kills? Both teams losing players left, right, and center, but there's definitely more blue players in the mix here. Spawn's kind of in the middle though. Donime going down might open it up here. Diva gonna drop as well, so all of a sudden the blue players dropping like flies as the respawns now will come through. GTG gonna get some push on the cart here, but the tanks have reinforced now. At any moment they can push
Something
forward.
Cat needs to go. I would have, if I was Something Cat, I would have gone way before.
Well, not choosing to do so. Oh, they throw the Blizzard out. Rest Your Sun goes down, but not before taking down Cuberin. That's a lot of frozen players. 3, in fact, on the point here. High Noon from the side. Marco Moon once again. Lexodian gets a kill. They're evening this one out. Marco Moon finds both DPS or both supports there. Brykro takes matters into his own hands, but it's too little too late. GTG have somehow stabilized.
It's a ballet of destruction. It's just back and forth, ults, flanks, and then one team just has a baby Diva and a Lucia left to end it all out. It's amazing how evenly matched these teams are actually now. I think both the teams have found their rhythms and made their adaptations.
Oh, nice shadow. Somehow finds an angle around the side there. The wall comes up kind of in the way, you'd have to say, but Seraphim will get the first kill. Brykro will get the second now as the self-destruct goes up, finds one, and it's all blue in the kill feed here as DYG punched through what was looking like a great wall of China of GTG here. But Dynacor will finally secure the second point.
Yeah, it feels like they wore them down with sheer attrition.
Yeah.
Just bang the head against the Great Wall, as you mentioned, just 5 or 6 times until eventually they find a crack in overtime. And all you need is one fight win on this stage.
Well, we have a great understanding of CTE now, so we'll see how all that headbang against the wall affects DYG's play going forward. Oh, what a huge shadow from Rest Your Sun, but is the follow-up there? They're all kind of forced back around the corner on GTG, and it's not really looking that good. Now throwing the LT out, Scavy needs to be careful, does not get taken down here. There is a shadow available for Burcrow, and you find the angle. He goes across the shield, doesn't look good. He closes it out now, gets quite a few. Is the follow-up there? Of course it is. DYG ready to pounce. 45 seconds left on the clock. They're looking likely to close this one out, but can they burn through into overtime on the side of GTG? They didn't get the touch now, just barely managing to do so. Now the reinforcements come through. A great lamp over the top, dealt with very effectively by DYG, but there's a lot of players moving through now. A single kill here might open it up, but DYG not going to let them get it. DYG, or GTG, sorry, on the back foot now. Just a diva left. 20 seconds left on the clock. Ball now does manage to get the touch. 16, 15 seconds left. Hammer down to take down Rest Your Sun. And that's going to be that. 14 seconds left on the clock. But 1 minute to 3 minutes 47 seconds. GTG still in the driver's seat.
Wow, what a back and forth adaptation on one side, adaptation on the other side, and I feel like they've sort of found this equilibrium.
Yeah.
Every fight is going down to the last ult or the last man standing, and luckily those 12 seconds are all that you need to get another minute on the clock. So another white bite of the apple. For DYG. Although if the aggressive playstyle does favor the attacker, I feel like GTG has this tempo mastered. So let's see how these adaptations that DYG made during the defense phase during their attack phase translates to their defense phase, and if they can hold well enough here with the 3 minute push. Although right now we are seeing them on the attack first because they have the smaller time bag. Yeah,
they will start here by attacking. So they're going to now set the pace, set the time that GTG is going to have to beat, and they only have a minute to do it. So they're going to come out here with a similar squad, exactly the same squad they did last time, I think, except this time they're gonna have... No, I mean...
yes, DYG.
Yeah. They've got Farah now on Seraphim instead of the Cowboy that they were running before. So
I'm a bit skeptical about
different angle.
But skeptic about the Pharah who has a Lucio and a Moira for heals.
Ooh, yeah. Interesting decision there. Seraphim will need to watch his positioning here. No hit scan on the other side. Outside of Sky Bunny, the charge through Chaotic. Immediately a casualty, but they trade out main tanks. Although they do get the off tank and Seraphim plucked out of the sky there by the Junkrat mine. And that might speed this one up. They're still playing aggressive though. He kind of has to play low to the ground, the Seraphim, doesn't he? Because he doesn't have healing that can reach him in the sky. And that's not really playing into the advantage here. Burkroad goes down, gets really clean up now, and that's going to be that for this first team fight. 15 seconds left effect.
I really liked the way that when there was a 3-on-4, GTG was just playing in a clump. They weren't pushing into the Rhino. They were just like, look, we're going to push through your shield eventually, and we have the time back on our side.
Seraphim came around the back there, got a couple of shots onto the Ana, but didn't find the kill. Scavy, once again, will be the first to drop here, courtesy of a charge from Rest Your Sun, who's has no fear of using that shift to find kills. Tyre comes out, gonna clean up Ganymede, just 2 players left on the point. A sound barrier to keep the team healthy here. GTG in the driver's seat on their second defense. Comes through, doesn't find Real Bros comes through. The sprinkler, not enough on this occasion. A great move from Nixodian to keep Scavy off the point. It's gonna help secure GTG a full hold here on their second defense.
I really like the Seraphim clinging on for the 96%, 98% to ult. Eventually gets it, but unfortunately, just a day late and $1 short.
Yeah, very, very unfortunate for DYG here, but we've seen teams full hold on this point before, and 3 minutes 47 is about the length of a normal first attack, so it's not impossible for DYG here, but with the rhythm that GTG have been playing with, it feels very unlikely that they won't punch through at some point in the next 4 minutes.
Yeah, how many, they're going to get, what, in 4 minutes, how many fights can you get? 7? Probably.
7, yeah. Mm-hmm. With the speed that they're fighting, absolutely.
Yeah. Just speed boost. How long is the Lucio cooldown? You can 1 per cooldown. Speed boost. Basically, I feel like just for sheer, bashing your head against it, someday someone's gonna hit something, even if it's not the first time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm liking Makomon going back on the Reaper. I feel like the Reaper was the key here. Pressure down the tanks, put pressure on the healers of the opposing team to keep them up, and then sort of allow your team just to get a pick, stabilize, and then push again.
We do see an adaptation here from DYG. They're gonna be running the Junkrat as well. Oh, great start there. Immediately the Codian comes down, but do they keep pushing? No, they're just going to play safe.
No. The correct choice. The Lucio is so instrumental to the rush comp.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Oh, Seraphim putting the pressure on. They don't really have a hit scan here. You'd really have to rely on Sky Bunny to take down this Pharah. And Mako, yeah, he recognizes. I do agree with you about the Reaper, but I think you just want to put the pressure on this Pharah, especially if she can fire into your spawn like this.
Yeah, the correct swap.
Pressure coming in over the top once again. They need to go faster. They're getting stuck in this choke here against the spam, and Seraphim finds one, Chaotic finds another. This is kind of a great way to burn 4 minutes off the clock.
This is the game plan for DYG right now, is spam them, make them wait and reset, and they have the discipline to reset every time. So they swap that double hit scan, just deal with the Pharah. I don't know if that's the answer. I think the answer is speed and not like do what they've done before and just ignore her. But they're very cautious now, and I feel like this is the mental game. Oh, there they go.
Yeah, burning through now, punching through, but Seraphim's already got an ultimate. He throws it down, he just finds one kill with the help of Barker, gets taken down, not in a position he can get raised. There's a Baby Diva in the mix here as well, and all of a sudden, it falls apart. This could be huge though. Do they have the shots? Can they get it down? No, they can't, and the rest comes through onto Bycrows now, so both teams with a pretty healthy squad, and so our blue team here looking much healthier, and neither team wants to back down, but with Miner going down, GTG gonna have to back up here once again, and that is half their time gone, Defect.
Yeah, 2 more minutes on the clock. Although the Pharah is gone, which I think they'll take as a big victory. Seraphim swapping onto the Tracer just to get back faster in that fight, and can't say I blame him.
You look at this and you think if you run a Pharah on GTG side, you're probably feeling pretty good, right?
Yeah. If Miner would be on the Pharah, and then you can leave Makomon to do his heroic McCree gameplay.
Yeah.
But then, like, it's like they're listening to us.
There we go. I really like the Pharah here to kind of give that vertical pressure, put the pressure on Chaotic especially. He can't just stand down the choke and fire down the mines, you know?
But now you're going to play differently with your tanks, because you don't have the healing output from one Lucio.
Sure.
You need to play a bit slower.
Miner gets that kill there. That might have been a one-shot. Oh, Shatter comes through onto the Nano Boosted Reinhardt, sends him all the way to Narnia, but is the backup there to get that kill? Charge comes back through. Here comes the Tire. Not going to find anything. The Shatter in the opposite direction. Chaotic gets tracked down, gets taken down, but he will trade out Bestio Sun with the Tire. Kills now for both sides, but Cuban puts a lid on that one. The self-destruct to take down 3, and that's 4 minutes almost done, Defect.
This is going according to plan for if you're DYG. You're smiting ear to ear. This is exactly the game plan you wanted, and it looks like it's working. And you know that weakness has been plugged. Seraphim's on the Widowmaker.
Well, there you go. He's decided he's going to take Miner into his own hands here, or at least the job of dealing with him. Oh, aggressive play from Kuberin and Brightcrow now. They're going to play with some of GTG's fire here. Not going to find a kill just yet, but not going to drop either. Where did Kuberin go? He's behind. Somebody deal with him. Deal with the Diva. Okay, they get the kill onto the mech, but Seraphim finds a kill onto Miner, who's playing without the Mercy for the most part here. There's a Baby Diva in the back line, shooting Reinhardt in the back of his head as Seraphim pumps damage from across the map. So far, it's mostly blue in the kill feed. Miner finds Scavy on the back line with the rocket barrage now, and there's a decent red presence on the point. Seraphim though gets rid of Mako Moon. He's in a position where he's under no pressure. The Shadow comes through, finds nothing, but Seraphim, he's the one finding damage. Miner identifies that and gets rid of that pesky Widowmaker, and now they're picking up kills with spawns coming back. A ball on the point. GTG might have waited till the last moment to bring this one back. Charge at the point, doesn't find anything, but they got rid of Miner in the sky now. They can focus their attention on the ground as Something Cat takes down his opposite number. Fire in the hole, comes across, gets rid of Makamoon on the Doomfist, but is the kill power still there? No, it's not. After a serious back and forth, DYG gonna pull the draw out.
I think serious back and forth is understatement. We saw everything in this, man. This was a whole series. This was a whole anime story arc in one map. we saw the rise and fall of GTD, the adaptation, the tempo, everything. This was a saga.
I wish I knew something about anime so I could make a sick reference.
I was hoping you do, because I don't watch anime either. But
you know I don't watch anime. Defect. What the hell, man? Put me on the spotlight.
Someone in the chat make a weep comment, please.
Yeah. Someone fill in the gaps there. You set me up really well, but I didn't have the capacity to dunk it, unfortunately. But I think I completely agree with you. I think the question now is, how does this saga continue? Of course, that was a draw, so we're still at 1-0 here. This is a best of 3. We're going to go to a tiebreaker map now. It's a best of 5, sorry.
Best of 5.
We're going to go to a tiebreaker, are we, maybe? We're not going to a tiebreaker.
So the tiebreaker would only be if we end 2-2, then the tiebreaker is played.
You think I'd know the rules, having had a part in writing them, or at least reading over them. But anyway, it is going to be. We're just going to carry on now through to our next map here. But I mean, this, no matter how this ends, defect, GTG put up a serious fight today.
Yeah, lots of material to review as well, which is always a big plus for a team, knowing that they can learn from this. But yeah, this was amazing. This was some back and forth, the rise and fall. I mean, can I have some more?
Yeah. Well, we're going to head over to Temple of Anubis now. And if there's any map that can be drawn, it is the 2CP map type. And Temple is quite well known. Perhaps only Volskaya, a more popular draw destination in Overwatch in South Africa. Of course, guys, take a look at this map and this map type. It will be leaving us as we head over to Overwatch 2 sometime next year. Thank the Lord, says anybody who ever played Overwatch, because this map type
flawed map design from the start,
is, but not fun to play. But I mean, I have to say, from a caster's perspective, it's one of the more exciting map types to watch.
Yeah, it's strange how that works, but it's just because you get 2 chances, right? If you're on the fence, if you make 2 mistakes, it's over. So it's high stakes for the viewers to watch, but it is one of your teammates can mess up twice and you lose a map. Yeah, feels very unfair on as a player. And also unpopular in quick play, because if you're a DPS, you queue for 20 minutes, you get 30 seconds of game, and
yeah. Because people just abandon because this map type is so horrendous to play. No, that's not the point you're making. Let's pretend that's where it is. We're seeing more Junkrat here.
A very different look. A very different look from GTG. I like it.
Seraphim was not expecting that. Up aggressive there. Really, we haven't seen the Winston coming out. Them a huge anti-nade. Once again, Marco gonna hit the deck straight away here. But he's still got teammates in the mix here. The rest will come out as well. So back up to a full fighting 6 here for GTG, but they've lost 1 now. They get to get the DMEC, but spawns will come through here for our defensive squad. DYG, the backline under a lot of pressure here.
Something cat winning the Baby Diva 1v1.
Yeah, of course, as we'd expect. Yes, Seraphim though, back in the mix on the Cowboy. He picks up 2. Can he find any more? Does he need to? A huge shatter. Finds the Lucio. The charge comes through. Look to pick up the Mercy on the backline as well. Won't find it. Micro isolated, but he doesn't need his team right now. He picks up Mercy as well and bails the team out here, although you really have to look to Seraphim for this team fight win.
Yeah, absolutely. Clutch when it matters. Picked, I think, 2 or 3 during the course of the fight, but those last 2 were the tide turners, and just in time to stabilize for the respawners to come in.
Oh, stabilize. They're gonna have to do that very quickly though. The pace very high here once again from GTG. Monkey very angry now onto the backline here. It's identified Chaotic as his prime target, but his prime target right now is a good night's rest as he gets put to bed by Scavy. Miner tracks that kill down. No res comes through onto Marco Moon, closing in on his ultimate. Ulti's all over the place as both DPS for DYG pop theirs. Deadeye and the Tire. Self-destruct though committed for our red squad here. GTG looking to clean things up, but that was a very expensive fight for both teams.
Yeah, especially on the side of DYG, who have 1.5 ults to work with. The Divac bomb comes up, looking at 3 on the side of and 3 good ults.
Yeah,
like Diva bomb and Shatter, not the biggest game changers, especially since the Shadow nerf. But Barrage, Blade, Beat, these are all fight-winning ults.
Oh, big Shadow though. That's a great start for DYG, but Makamoon's going to try and claw it back here with his ultimate. The Dragon Blade finds 2, make that 3, but he's lost so many teammates. Is there enough punching power left on the point for GTG? Shield is to go up here. There's a Mercy behind him, but I don't think he realizes that. Bunny Blaster here on the front line as Kuberin hits the deck. Looking pretty good here for GTG. It's just a matter of cleanup now, but Seraphim's back. Moving towards the point. Donnie kills something. Cat. Pretty uneven fight for the Diva. Oh no, the charge comes through. The Seraphim getting the kills once again. Seraphim and Donny alone on the point, cleaning up GTG as they come through. Miner finally gets rid of Donny, but he's isolated all by himself now, and Chaotic will end his foray into this team fight. And now Seraphim going to get aggressive once again. GTG struggling all of a sudden to close out these team fights.
Yeah, it just seems to come down to these individual like hero plays, these 1v1s, and I think this might be like planned by DYG in a way. Like they know that Miner and the coaching of the team seems to make it that they have comps and they have strats, but when it breaks down and it devolves into 1v1s, they are favored.
Oh, they are indeed. Deadeye comes through, doesn't find anything, although he gets the kill onto Mako, but Lixodia tracks him down, gets to revenge, gets switched. There's so many blue players still alive as Restio's son goes straight back into spawn there, but when you have to run away with 5 players still alive to go and defend second point, Vict, that's not going to feel good for DYG.
The problem here is also if they don't die fast enough, they're going to get the slow spawns.
That is true.
Which is very dangerous. But it looks like they managed to get out and set up at least some sort of forward defense.
Seraphim here, just above, on the top right here from where Cuban is. No, they're going the long way around. Seraphim,
he got spotted. Yeah, he got spotted out. All right.
They're going to go through this choke here into a Junkrat, a risky proposition for GTG, and we can see why.
Oh no, that's a shadow.
Oh, that's a big shot opportunity. The teleporter onto the high ground. They weren't fast enough, or they didn't time it well enough, unfortunately. As they look to go around the corner, the shadow comes out and just mows them down. Team wipe for 0 loss there. I think that's a pretty strong stabilization for DYG.
Yeah, that kills all the momentum. It gives you time to remake and all those stuff. So stabilize of healing. But it seems that GTG is not done yet. They've regrouped. They have the speed boost up, and they're just gonna slam against the wall again.
Yeah, and this is the squad that they've had the most success with.
The rush, the hard rush.
Yeah.
The Atlanta rush.
That they're trying to use. Actually, the charge straight through Scavy, the first to hit the deck here. Resurrection is available if Donny can find the angles. Chaotic goes down there. He does get the kill onto Sky Bunny, so healing is limited here as we see Mako move with the pressure on. He gets stunned up, he gets taken down. Ban the hammer. Seraphim takes care of his opposite number, now moves his way onto point here, but this laser beam from Miner looking to put DYG under pressure, but he's losing teammates at an alarming rate here. Seraphim pops his ulti, a nice flick to catch the last hit onto Miner, and that's going to be another stabilizing play here. 0 ticks yet for GTG.
Absolutely hero res from Donny as well, trying to sneak around the backline, all crouched up, and managed to get the Reinhardt, which is just so much extra beef on the point.
Yeah, no, like really nice work from Donny there, managing to get that one and
managing to get the D.Va mech in just before the fight as well.
Oh yeah, Cuban managed to get that, a huge anti-nade. They commit the shatter here, but it probably wasn't even needed. This is not too bad though, as long as the D.Va mech doesn't go down on the front line. They know it just goes down. That's a disaster. Only 40 seconds left on the clock. You might struggle to get the remake before the last fight.
Okay, they finish off something.
I would have let him go, but anyways.
Yeah. Oh, all right. So what are we working with here? We're working. What would the play here be? It's probably just like beat in aggressively for a shadow of speed, right?
Yeah.
The teleporter thing has been getting shut down. I think Skeevy's reading them with the nade. They're not coming through with the D.Va first. It's other players.
Here we go. Where did they go? Oh, came all the way around the back. A big anti-heal, but as you said, the Lucio beat gonna keep them healthy here. Nobody dropping it for GTG, and they're picking up the kills. It is 2CP. You have to get a clean team fight, and they're struggling to do that as the kills come through the other direction now, but they are picking them up one by one. Gotta gets that kill. There's just a McCree on the point here. The D.Va choosing to hold the high ground. Second to Cap now, but the tanks are rejoining the fray here as BioCrow comes through. Scavy's in the mix. Donny's in the mix. This is a very tanky Reinhardt right now with the double healing, but he gets taken down straight away. The laser beam too much. A second casualty found here by Miner. D.Va make taken down, but she does pop the ulti. They need to kill him before she makes, but no! They vacate the point, zoned out by the D.Va mech, sorry.
Yeah, the bomb, but also they had lamp up. So
I
just a
mean,
little bit of panic. You have to die on point. Like
yeah,
someone has to say, and then hope the lamp doesn't break. But
yeah. That's
I mean, it's high pressure scenarios, and small things like this happen.
But that said, they do pick up 82% on the points, so they've given themselves a decent opportunity to defend here. We're not going to get a draw here, basically at all, so we will be moving on after this map. But yeah, a struggle there for GTG, really struggling. It seems like more than anything, DYG have found a solution to GTG's hyper-aggressive strategy.
Yeah, and it seems to be like trading off aggressively and hoping that you can hero play at the end.
Yeah.
Because it comes down to these 2v2s, and it's just like it's Seraphim or Skeevy landing some grenade or something, and just closing it out against all odds, basically, instead of a structured team play. And I mean, look, if that's the adaptation that works, do it. It's been pretty consistently favoring for DYG. So
yeah,
if it's not broke, don't fix it. And I love me a Torbjorn on defense here.
They're going for the Torb Sim once again, but on Lighthouse, Ilios, it really didn't work out for them. But that was an entirely different scenario.
Yeah.
This is kind of where that composition
is best. Yeah, and also very good against the Genji. The Torb turret specifically is the anti-Genji device.
Another huge anti-nade from Scavy. Not going to find any kills off it at the moment. And in fact, GTG are going to find a couple of kills of their own now. Just cleaning up Miner, get a laser beam down some fools here on the front line. But really nice work from GTG there. But yeah, this composition makes a lot more sense here. And do we see the switch? Yeah. Seraphim going to go off that Genji, probably, for the reasons you mentioned.
Yeah, it's so hard to play into the turret. It's just like it puts a clock on every flank you do.
Yeah.
And it also makes your 1v1s much less favored.
Yeah, and if not, it pulls the attention of your own healers, constantly having to keep you topped up, and as you take damage from the turret and the laser beams. So makes a lot of sense.
By Chaotic cleaning up the sim turrets, specifically coming through cleaning up the sim turrets, and the D.Va also cleaning up the Torb turret, but loses a mech for it, not the play.
Yeah, maybe not, but we'll have to see if it works out. Maybe that gives space to this Pharah to put the damage down, struggling at the moment. They found a couple of kills on GTG. They've lost a lot of tanks on DYG now. The cleanup, though, they need to get rid of Chaotic now. It's all good and well killing the team, but you do eventually have to kill the Pharah if you want to win the team fight now. This comes down onto Makomon, who's now on the sim, burning down the front line. Can they find any more? Can they clean this up before the tanks rejoin? Seems like they're struggling to do that at the moment. Instead, they're going to get aggressive here. Cuber, once again, getting so aggressive on this D.Va. Needs to be careful here as watch the Pharahs battle it out in the sky. Seraphim putting the pressure onto the enemy D.Va. You're not going to get that kill while it's being healed up by the Mercy. As the damage comes through on the front line, charge through, rest your son, under pressure here from Barcrow. They get that kill and now they start cleaning up. The Symmetra shield, not enough to keep GTG healthy here, and it's just a matter of time before DYG punch their way through.
Yeah, absolutely just grinding the fight out, relying on their spawn advantage to just trade, and then clean up at the end with a couple of choice ults.
Yeah. Unfortunate for GTG here. Remember, guys, if they lose this one, they are out of it. That is a 3-0 victory for DYG. The expected result, perhaps, but after watching them play, they really would expect something else.
Son, are you? Yeah, we're 1-1, aren't we? Or 1-0. We drew it.
Oh, it was a draw. I'm down.
Yeah. So Seraphim with a big pick on the start and now cleaning up turrets.
What a sham reverse. Down the bridge, picks up one. The follow-up is there for a second, and that's probably that. The self-destruct gonna pick up 2 plus a D.Va mech and bailing each other out there very effectively. GTG backs against the wall, but momentum stymied effectively.
Yeah, and I feel like the first fight on the second point is absolutely crucial.
Yes.
If you can end the momentum here, I think you're probably favored to win. Even if it was like, it's not like they rush comped in, but they just needed to win the fight, stabilize. I don't know if it's a mental thing or not, but it feels like the corner has been turned. And now it's just holding out for 3 minutes and 24 seconds.
Yeah, that's the thing, though, right? There's so many opportunities here for Dynacor to find a chink in the armor, to twist the knife, and this might be the opportunity. Self-destruct over the top, doesn't find anything, commits the lamp. Restio Sun isolated out, though, and look at the ult committal here from DYG, but it's perfect, picking up so many kills.
Yeah, that might be the writing on the wall. Just, press Q to win.
Press Q to win, and they are going to do exactly that. They will take the second map here. Apologies for my error earlier on. To take it to 2-0 for them now.
2-0 for them. So we still have hopes of a draw, but a bonus map. But then GTG need to take both maps. But we're still going to play.
Yes, yeah. But of course, if they lose the next one, they are out, unfortunately. Yes. But this is the group stage, so plenty of games, or at least one game to come for them in the group stage. But it's not over there. Let's not talk like it's over. GTG have shown us that they are perfectly capable of putting in strong performances and winning out parts of maps, and if you can win half a map, you could probably win a whole one. But it does feel like the experience of DYG is carrying them through here, identifying the issues that GTG's playstyle are presenting them, and coming up with solutions very effectively.
Yeah, that's that. Like you mentioned, like the experience, the how many years of being in competitive Overwatch and knowing how to adapt to your opponent's adaptations. Mm-hmm. And it's paying dividends, if I can use a very overlabored metaphor. They are like this style of grindy. They've slowed down the pace. The fights are dragging on, even on attack. It's very slow fights that DRG are taking, and it favors. I want to say, is it mechanics or this hero play, like the duos, like you can see very many times it's Seraphim and Donnie are left. And Seraphim and Donnie have played, 4,000 hours of comp together as a duo. They know how that plays out. They've done it way more than any duo in GTG has. So it just comes down to this sort of like experience and grindy.
Yeah, absolutely it does. Guys, we're going to take a short break here before our next map, so don't go anywhere. It's going to be about 2 to 5 minutes, and we'll be right back after that, guys. So we'll see you in just a moment. Well, the form of surprising results continues here in the Causa Buffalo Cup. Not in the sense of actual final results, but in the sense of performances, of course. If you're just joining us here, it is GTG taking on DYG, the teams that end in G. But at the moment, it is DYG with the advantage. But unsurprisingly, it has to be said, but the real surprise effect has, of course, been the performance of GTG. They've put on an extremely impressive performance, and one colored by unbridled aggression.
Yeah, if you're a GTG fan, you can be very proud. You can be very happy with your team's performance. You can build on aggression much more than you can build on anything else. And this is great stuff. We're seeing a lot of close games. We're seeing a lot of structured, aggressive, high-tempo Overwatch, which is a gift to watch. And every game has been coming down to the wire. We are 2-0, but with a little asterisk as GTG managed to force the draw. Honestly,
where I think what you're talking about was really displayed the most for GTG.
Yeah, and I'll correct myself. So they didn't manage to force the draw; they had the draw forced upon them. They were far in the lead and had a 4-minute time bank to attack into an empty point, but just managed to not be able to clutch that out. But props to DYG where needed. They've been playing clutch gaming the whole way through. Hero plays, fights that come down to 1 or 2 survivors. Excellent stuff, but a good night of Overwatch if you're a South African Overwatch fan.
Yeah, absolutely, and it is a night of Overwatch across the board here. Before we jump back into the series, we'll just give you a report on some of the other games that have been going on. We have 4 games happening this evening. Team Gaming taking on Rage Quit Legacy. Team Gaming took a 3-0 victory there. Unsurprising result, but as I understand it, Legacy can be quite happy with their performance despite the 3-0 loss. And then on the other side, we've got Overtime and Enigma in a fight which just finished, and I believe Enigma went 3-0 over Overtime there. Again, another not unexpected result, but still good to get a sense of how these teams are facing out in empirical terms. But let's jump back in here to this series. GTG, DYG, what are we going to see next year on Route 66?
Well, I'm hoping we're seeing more of a rush comp and like this high tempo play that we've been seeing. Tonight's really been a night of GTG wanting to set the pace and DYG wanting to slow it down. So I'm really hoping we get to see, I think if we're seeing more GTG wins, it's going to be off the back of some really aggressive structured plays. And if we're going to see a lot more of a DYG winning, as they have been so far tonight, it's going to be slow, brawly, slogging fights, even on the offensive. So we're going to see overtime pushes and overtime caps, I think.
Well, fingers crossed, because we want to see as much exciting close Overwatch as we can here at Effect. It is going to be Route 66 here. We haven't seen this map in quite some time, but one everyone will be familiar with. Of course, Overwatch did launch with Route 66. All these players will be very, very well versed in this map, and not many maps have changed since launch, right? I can only really think of the 2 maps that are literally not in the game right now.
Anubis has changed. Eichenwald's changed.
Eichenwald changed from when it was launched.
Yeah, Anubis also changed from the launch of the game. They put that thing in the middle, made the door wider, put 2 doors in.
Okay.
I think that's basically it.
I think so, right? Yeah, Horizon's in the game though. Sorry, producer was telling us Horizon here.
No,
it's not a real map. I don't believe it exists.
All right, let's see what we're rolling out here. We're seeing this spam comp slow gameplay, like they want to push the damage over the edge, versus again this teleporting Lucio rush. So unstoppable force and immovable object. Let's go.
Well, we'll see which is more unstoppable or immovable. Reaper gonna TP onto the high ground here, kind of isolated here. Teleporter not really going where they wanted to. I think not able to find the TP onto the high ground just yet. Another big anti-heal from Scavy. He's really been the player here for DYG. If you're not looking at Seraphim, he's probably the guy that's been bailing them out most often, and that's going to be a quick team fight win once again here for DYG. So far, it's 1-0 for Immovable Object.
1-0 for team immovable object. Yes, definitely.
Great team name, actually.
Team immovable objects. Yeah.
Pride Cup coming up.
Cup,
Talent Cup. Yeah.
who's playing? Quick swap over here from Makamon, who couldn't find value on the Reaper. He did manage to sneak in behind and wanted to set up for like a flank play in the previous fight, but just couldn't get the value needed before his team got grinded out. And there's the aggression.
There's the aggression. Charge straight through, but the cover is there from Scavy. The nade comes through. The healing is there, and Miner will drop here to the tire. Diva on the backline here, putting the pressure onto the Mercy, immediately gets DMEC. The cover is there from Chaotic, and now they can get aggressive. The Shadow comes through. It's both tanks on the front line, and Burkrow will go down, but the kills are there in return for DYG. They might lose the main tank, and even that is short-lived as the res comes through from Donny May. So, immovable object looking ever present here on this defense.
Ever more immovable.
Yeah.
Speaking of moving, the charge of Restodon was, I think he missed the pin, and he picked up the right out, but he went all the way into the back line, and the rest of immovable object just crashed forward and cleaned up his team before he could get back.
Yeah, I think Peaches should maybe get ready to create some immovable object graphics for DYG here, because I think that's the best outcome of this match. But let's see, as now they get aggressive here, they're looking to become the unstoppable force, but Burkrow at least is stopped on the front line. Nano Boost now committed here, coming over the top. Oh my god, Chaotic with the Nano Boosted Rocket Barrage pulls out the sound barrier as well, so even more of a positive here for DYG. The defense matrix as well, sorry, the amplification matrix.
Mercy just killed Chaotic? Mercy killed Makbar out of the Pharah.
I mean, Donnie's looking for something to do, right? This is such a dominant performance. Oh my god, it's not over yet. Self-destruct goes through the back line, and everybody is dead. Kuberin with a triple kill. Seraphim with his own impotent explosive fired in there as well, but it's all Kuberin at the moment.
Yeah, this object is not moving at all, to belabor that joke.
In many ways, the point is not moving, the team fight is not moving.
Yeah, absolutely. And a Miner on the Torbjorn now, and there's no healing for the Pharah. This feels like a panic.
Oops, Kuberin booped off the side though. Self-destruct over the top. Panic my ass. Defect, they had a plan. Let's just pretend that was the strategy. To boop the Diva off and get a couple of kills with something self-destruct, and now look at the pressure coming through. Oh no! He's taking a nap. Oh, he takes damage somehow. Gets to get out of there. He's going to rock barrage right into the room there. Kuberin will come out with the defense matrix at the ready, and the recontest is good to go here. They are, of course, down the Mercy, the Anna of Scavy. Nano Boost is ready, so they might want to wait till he's back so they can get in, but no, they have to go now. Molten Core committed. Kuberin killed straight off the bat. No tanks now as Burkrow drops as well. Can they clean it up here? It's just a matter of time, you'd have to think. For our blue squad, and yes, they get the boop off, and this is great for them. They can pick off a couple of late kills here and get a little bit of momentum pushing into the second point.
I don't think I've seen Skeevy miss an ability in the last 3 fights.
Yeah.
It's just constant sleeps and nades and heals, and this guy's Anna is amazing. We know what their SR is, or are they like, what, low GM?
Low GM? No idea.
Well, they're playing like it, and I'm going to be looking at the VOD to check up some tips for my own gameplay afterwards. As Makamon takes the 1v1 there. Also extra spicy since he doesn't have a Mercy.
Yeah, he doesn't have a Mercy, and you see now the outcome there. Mercy undoes all Makamon's hard work. Oh my lord, aggressive play from Chaotic. A couple of good directs here onto the opposing tire from Makamon. There's a tire somewhere. You can see the rider. Okay, nice work. Miner finds a kill, but it was all a ruse, a distraction, a red herring as the red players drop like flies here. Really, just a couple of players left. This GTG having to fall back here. DYG stopping the momentum.
Yeah, and now they're setting up the immovable object again, you know, by barricading the windows and putting a towel under the door, and they're ready for whatever aggression that's going to come out here, and here it comes.
Here it comes indeed on the top right now over Zed's Garage, never read that before, reading it on the fly. Learning things here in my 9 billionth game of Overwatch casting as immediately the turret goes down. Both players hit the deck here, but of course we know one of those has a res, and DYG just getting so aggressive on the front line here with this nano boosted Reinhardt, a late death from the Diva, thankfully quite close to the edge of the map, but DYG once again set up and GTG not really able to find a chink in the armor.
Yeah, but I think the next fight's going to be more pivotal. We're seeing a couple of ults come online for GTG, and if they can leverage it better than the Shatter, I think it's all going to come down to whether Ricro,
but I'm sure they're laughing on
pronunciation. I'm sorry, bro. Oh, big pick on the Mercy.
Huge.
And there is the big Shatter. That Shatter's going to turn it.
Big Shadow on the front line here. Doesn't find too much at the moment though, and they're losing players once again. GTG struggling to keep up with the pace that DYG are setting now in his team fights. As I say that though, a kill on Tuskavi could be key. The spawn is very close here for our red team, so this might be the moment that they force their way through. The Diva now on the point. The turrets will contribute there. The lamp committed. What is this? You might want to keep that around for the next part of this team fight. It's not over yet. As DYG start to reinforce now. There's a soldier in the backline with a tactical visor. Slow/no response from the Diva, but it seems like the sound barrier going to be enough. Miner with a cheeky headshot from across the map, going to take him down. And the aggression coming through from Restio-san. They cannot leave the point now. They need to not forget that as the anti-heal contributes to Makomon's dead. Kills all over the place now. Oh, Rocket Barrage over the top. Once again, a slow response from the Diva. Something Cat could be a little bit more on the ball, but it's not going to matter right now as they clean that up. And once again, at the death, GTG push on through.
Oh, that was a clincher the whole way through. They just put half the map in overtime, but managing to leverage just like the sheer, I don't know, like Torbjorn armor and the extra health Symmetra's gotten in one of the recent patches to just not die.
Yeah,
they're just playing don't die comp. And a couple of mistakes on the Diva and the lamp, but didn't cost on the game.
Nope, has not, at least not yet, as the self-destruct comes through, gets rid of the opposing Diva mech now. The remech will come through as the pressure mounts here for GTG, and the aggression comes through. Really, this is all about Donime and the Valkyrie here. She keeps the team healthy, buffs their damage, whoops out the Gat as well, taking matters into her own hands. We saw her kill Makamoon on the Pharah earlier, and she's hungry for something.
Calm down. Donnie is just wants to stop now. She's had enough. Taking matters into her own hands, as you said, and just a dry outbank from the side of GTG, and this is the last fight.
Yeah.
So going for the hero rotate to see if they can force positional errors.
Oh, well, that's a good start, but that's an enormous shatter. Charges them straight into the lamp, though, but enough damage done that the explosive power of DYG squad gonna help clean up GTG here. It's just Lucio on the point. The Molten Core only a little bit sprayed on the point. Oh, Sound Barrier does come out, so time bought here for the team to come in. There's a Doomfist on the point. Boop Seraphim onto that little bit of Molten Core that was there, but Chaotic ends things potentially. Can the touch come through? They do just get on. GTG just barely, and it's better now. It's just a matter of can they clean up after that. Restio-san comes in and rescue-san, more like, just cleaning up this DYG squad. The cart is moving, but they're down a lot of players, and the spawn very much in favor of DYG, but they've done this before. Defect, they pushed through onto the point in overtime in this attack already, but they're in a little bit of a desperate state now. No ultis really. A self-destruct coming through the other side. That finds Sky Bunny, and Restio-san gonna drop courtesy of the remix. So immediately losing a lot of players here. It's gonna take some serious heroics for GTG to keep this cart moving, and it's not going to be forthcoming. The boop onto Miner sends him flying off the point, and DYG eventually stopped the push, but GTG, man, they're gonna be happy with that.
Oh, some things I don't know how you do it. My heart, I was short of breath, and I wasn't the one doing the casting. Those fights, I was an absolute clincher the whole way through, and it's just backs and forths, shadows coming offline, and slams, and wow, what a game! What an absolute. These teams are evenly matched, almost all the way through.
Well, not so evenly matched if we look at the scoreline, unfortunately, from GTG's perspective. They have to win this one. or it is over. I said that earlier. It was not true. I believe it is now true. So
It is not true.
let's transplant what I said earlier to now and forget it ever happened. But GTG, backs against the wall. What are they going to go for? They're tried and tested. They're double defensive composition, the Torbjorn Symmetra. But what are they up against, Effect?
Bastion cheese.
This is a preview of Overwatch 2, right? The two ones we saw getting the buffs.
Just very excited.
Just practice, bro.
An ode to old Sombra, an ode to old Sebastian. One final go, once more into the breach. I like
Do you think
this.
that could make it more poetic if it was happening on 2CP?
Yeah, listen though, Spirit Ship was weak against one thing, and that's being prevented from being set up on the card. So I don't know how they read this comp, but so it goes.
I think they're just leaning into that aggressive style that they've been running throughout the series here, and it just happens to be perfect for what they're coming up against. Look at this aggressive play. The hack comes through, but it's not going to stop anyone. All the charge, but the lamp will protect the Torbjorn for just a moment there. Eventually, Miner does go down, but they've taken down Burkrow on the Reinhardt, and now they're forcing them back. Chaotic though, set up in the backline. Lost 2 players now, 3 players if you include Miner. So this is a bit of a tough situation here for our defending squad, but they're going to hold firm on the front line, but very obviously the spawn advantage favoring DYG, and now with that kill on Terrestrial-san, they will push forward. Players are running away, but you kind of need to run in and die. That'll be the quickest way to rejoin your team.
Yeah, and especially on defense, you can just stall the cart with being alive at all.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Pirate Shit is set up, and 3-4 players AFK. It's hard to beat.
Yeah, really only Chaotic is playing in the game right now. It's just kind of right-clicking. If this is Overwatch 2, you'd be able to move without the help of the cart, but we're not there quite yet. Seraphim finds opening pick as the ultimate's committed now. Nice shatter onto Burkrow. The kill is there, but players are going down on both sides. Can they find the cleanup kills here? It's just going to be a couple of kills, and yes, Miner with the laser beam finds a couple of kills there on the backline. Seraphim not going to be able to contribute, but that was just a brief intermission you'd have to expect with the way the ultimates are playing out.
Yes, but also, like the age-old question, do you keep the Bastion for the ult after you've been unseated from your throne?
Yeah.
And I guess it's yes if you have the Seraphim ult. Yeah, well...
Oh, caught out
Gets
straight
caught
away.
out.
The turret's coming in clutch there. The poor boy wasn't shot by a single real player. It was all automation there. The end of Seraphim's agreement, and now the aggression comes through. The beat pop, as you say, they look to clean things up. Chaotic executes himself there. He's had enough of this team fight, and he'll go out on his own terms as the flux comes out, and you'd have to think that signals a compositional switch.
Yes, finally, and there we see it. Chaotic's immediately on the May. Still have the MP for next fight, but the kahunas on this team just your Bastion ulted and you put down a BAP ult. Well, obviously the correct response is to speed boost straight into it. I would have tried to wait it out in the little room or something, but they just full throttle and it works. So if it ain't broke.
That's why we washed up and they're playing the game.
Yeah.
They make the big ball plays, and the EMP now committed from Seraphim, but it doesn't hit the Molten Core, and that's going to put a lot of zoning power on the point. Kuberin up in front, taken down, Shatter in the back, doesn't find anything, not enough at this point in time, but main tank's still alive, self-destructing the backline, the wall pushes it up, Seraphim taking down Chaotic, killed himself in the last team fight, killed Seraphim in this one. This might just be a 7v5 here in the favor of GTG.
Okay, Chaotic's the imposter. Vent. What about, boys? Just raising it up. It's like what we're seeing in the match chat. It's content. So
it's content, yeah. Oh, hyper aggressive play. That's a much better wall from Chaotic. The shatter straight into the wall. Very unfortunate for Etios. He's going to charge now into another wall. All over the place is this Reinhardt, but his team is doing the work. He kind of carved away the Reinhardt from GYG side, and that's allowing his team to get at the squishy insides. 11 seconds on the clock here.
A charge
onto the coalescence as well. Cancelled that one. Donnie unfortunate for her as the cleanup comes through on the point now. Chaotic, last man standing, gonna use the wall to his favor once again. Molten Core though, gonna zone the point out, and they have to touch. They can't avoid the point here in overtime. Self-destruct or soundbar rather aggressively used here, and that's gonna be it. GTG will take their first map win in the series and take us to a game 5.
More Overwatch clapping emoji. I'm having the time of my life. This is great.
Yes.
I'm very happy. We have good content. We have full holds. We have pirate ships. It's everything. It's everything.
We really
We have they pulled for a game of Among Us mismatch. It's great.
Oh man, Chaotic's never gonna live that one down, man. He executes himself with the Bastion ulti in the previous team fight, and then just like sells Seraphim down the river with the wall. He's a Sombra. You can get out so easily, but he's like, oh, suddenly I'm in open air. Executed by the opposing diva. But man, what a match we are seeing here, Defect. GTG, a team of unknown players plus minor, obviously, but really, we've never seen any of them. And so many of them are putting on stellar performance. But my standout player so far has got to be Makomon on the hit scan, or Pharaoh, or some Metro, whatever he's playing. He's been putting out a stellar performance on that GTG side.
He's been playing a very independent style of carry. He's going on these flanks, even when he's on things like Farah or Reaper and stuff. He doesn't have a pocket. He's declining the pocket. He just kind of like, he's a Sigma male. He does his own thing.
A Sigma male
lives outside the hierarchy by choice, and he makes it work. And he's like we saw on the very, very first map, you can cast your thoughts back 2.5 hours. Where he took the Widow 1v gun with, like we said, with unfavorable tanks, with the Mercy on the opposing side, and he not only kept his own, but managed to outplay Seraphim at some point. So the man is mad. And,
they never crossed our minds to Eichenwald when he did a RKO off the top rope there when he was like 11 teammates down, and his performance on that map also kind of eye-opening. So
it's absolutely. I think he has access to Chaotic's PayPal, and he's just making it happen. So,
saying it's a 3-2 situation here. There were some bets placed against their own teams, and suddenly,
look, I'm not making accusations, but
he accused them of using Adderall earlier. Now he accusing them of betting.
Look, all I'm saying is something here is very sus.
Well, we know who to contact for the suspicious plays here. But DYG now on the back foot. They really threw out something unusual there on Route 66. Not a composition we've seen have much success, really. I mean,
unless you're unidentified.
No, but that was like 1 million years ago. When was the last time unidentified played?
2020? Well, they were 80k then. Well, no, it was before that. That was 2019.
2019.
There weren't
right, and that's when on Junkertown, especially the pirate ship was quite popular.
Meta, yes. You would see Overwatch League teams trot out the Bastion.
Exactly, and the double, and then a sniper alongside that. But Route 66, we haven't even had much success. It's the kind of cheese that you can beat a weak team with, who's not really ready to deal with it. You need to have a wits about you to deal with that composition. But GTG are showing us here that they are not a weak team. So you look towards DYG, and ask the question, what's next for them? What do they do as we head into Nepal?
Well, I mean, you just throw something new at the wall. I guess we've seen them adapt again and again through this game.
Yeah.
And I think they're much faster at changing their tactics than GTG. Yeah, it feels like they have a deeper repertoire, if that makes sense. But, I mean, the response from GTG has just been, all right, we'll just go more aggressive.
Yeah.
Like, you've changed your comp, but what if we charge in with a Reinhardt? Like, you've put down a BAP ult and your Bastion is shooting through. It's like, okay, but I beat in charge. Your move. Like, there's been no challenge that they couldn't overcome with sufficient aggression.
Yes, at least so far against DYG.
Yeah, and I'd like to point out that GTG just scored the basket, so I think that does seal the fate for DYG in this map.
Well, that's at least set the tone for GTG going forward. Just a bit of information on the fourth match that's happening this evening. Rage Quit Odyssey taking on Pangolins. Pangolins actually managing to take a map of Rage Quit Odyssey, which looked very impressive in their match against Team Gaming. So impressive stuff from Pangolins. As we cast our attention now back to the match at hand. DYG immediately that basket paying off there. The mental too strong following that morale boost in the spawn as GTG now push on forward. That first kill onto Burko, setting the tone, allowing them to play with that aggressive style.
Almost almost got a boop on like 2 or 3 people, but the Diva's the only one who went over the edge, and well, Diva can fly. So
yeah,
I'd like to draw your eyes to the shadow charge of the opposing Reinhardts, and just to educate our audience on the key is the pin. If you get the pin off as a Reinhardt, you're gonna get shadow on the second fight.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to seeing a big boy shatter.
Whoa! Why is Burko so far from his team? Look at that!
Another pin!
Straight through onto him, isolated him. Double main tank here. The OC special coming out of DYG. Not working out so well, especially if you lose one Seraphim at the back. Seraphim is alive, ready to play. Oh, that's a huge ultimate. Seraphim takes himself down. The shadow, he charged it so quick, but he doesn't find anything. He finds him on the way through with the charge. Cuban does take it down. The boop. Oh, Lucio catches himself there. Not going to go down just yet. But Restio-san is making plays in the background. Burko eventually tracks him down. Takes him down. Scavy pooped off the map here, and now the respawns will come through for GTG. Burko on the point, protecting Chaotic, but taken down in one blink of an eye there from the photon beam. Makomood gonna clean things up here. Needs to be careful though. Tank's not at the ready here for GTG just yet, so this aggressive play needs to be tempered just slightly.
Yes, and I like the aggression is very directed towards healers. We saw both healers fall quite early with 3 players still left on the side of DYG, but no healing. And then the breaks come out from the side of GTG, where they just take the advantage.
Oh, speaking of breaks, Shadow a little bit ambitious there into the Symmetric Shield. The charge as well, he's all by himself, but he's got the Coalescence at his back. But the Molten Core just countering the Coalescence healing quite effectively. We're already up to 90%, 95% almost on the clock here, and it's looking pretty dire for DYG. I think in the next map, if GTG can close this one out, we have to look towards the spawn and see if they sink that basket to start things off, because I think that really set the tone here, Defect. And now they're coming back though. DYG, can they clean things up? Nice. Gets Burko down, and now they just need to clean things up. The Dragons coming through, a celebration here for GTG, and they will take the first point on Nepal.
Are we going to see it? Are we going to see this Torbjorn turret? Just, yeah, the 6-mapper. But look, I don't want to cast a curse them. I just want to point out 2 things. Firstly, please someone do the VOD review and see how many Lucio boosts we got, because I think it was 6 by my count total from both sides. Just people getting to the pit. And secondly, I would love a stat to see the turret damage done by Torbjorn, because that turret I think it died twice in that whole game, and it was sitting in mid, pumping out damage, just being that like 7th player.
They really couldn't afford to. Oh, there we go. They got the basket. So GTG in the driver's seat now. Sorry, you guys probably weren't watching that, but you'll just have to take my word for it. As GTG now coming out with exactly the same comp they were running before. Yeah. Seraphim going to try his hand at the Doomfist. Interesting choice given the success we've seen Farah have on this map and the success we've seen DYG have with the Farah. Moving on to point now. Need to be careful. The charge comes through. Not able to find anything. Charge comes the other way now. Doesn't find anything.
Oh, no.
Gets the kill onto Seraphim. Scavy taken down as well. So 2-man advantage. 3-man now for GTG.
Sorry on the back
control of the point.
Just easy cleanup, and this is the comp we saw GTG start on. I don't know how we've circled through so many adaptations, but they're back on their comfort, and I think that's not. It's working, and also it's their comfort, which is 2 things that just are stacking essentially.
Yes. 2 things to overcome for DYG.
Yes, and stop deploying a turret, Miner. Just let it sit. It's making me anxious, bro.
He's probably a better Torbjorn than you and I, so he knows what he's doing. And look at that! Look at that double kill straight off the bat. Sarah from Donnie May out of the game, and that's going to force DYG back towards spawn, back towards the drawing board here, and they're running out of time. 40% up. If they don't win this, we're into a game 6, and they really don't want to have their backs against the wall like that.
Yeah, and I feel like, so we saw Skeevy go on the Lucio last match, and Skeevy has been kind of integral to quelling the aggression and landing those anti-nades and sleeps. Like, he's been very good on the Ana, and not as strong on the Lucio last map. I see him back on the Ana this map, but now at the cost of having a Lucio at all. As I say, he gets picked. Oh no, so many
go down. Oh no, Miner picks up the triple. I think the shatter was a big part of that. So the cleanup here, very, very real. It's like that victory on Route 66 unlocked a different side of this GTG squad, and now they are the immovable object effect.
Absolutely, and I think it's a big morale boost comes from a victory, especially one that you don't expect coming in. And this is what leads to upsets.
Yeah,
there we go. Back on the Skeevy with on the Lucio.
Yeah, unfortunate. All charge comes through the lamp, keeping the Reinhardt healthier there. Self-destruct goes through, but that's going to be protected. Oh, Seraphim with a big triple kill. They do lose Chaotic in the meanwhile, but when you've picked off 3 in the blink of an eye, you've got to back yourself to cap this point, and they're going to do just that. Get rid of that damn teleporter. There's still a turret in the backline that needs to get dealt with, but finally DYG finding a chink in the armor. Yeah,
and eventually securing the cap for the first time in this map. Both maps, actually. So let's see if this is the swapping of roles that we needed. It is harder to attack in with the Torbjorn, but Mine has been making it work, and this teleporter aggressive strat has also been paying off quite well. And there we go, big charge to the back line.
Sky Bunny dropping first, a shatter as well. Rest your son. He knows nothing but aggression here. Miner picks up a double with the turret and blink, and you'll miss it. That is Nepal, all said and done. GTG have found the 8th gear here, and they are going to send themselves into map 6.
Wow, is this the first map 6 we've seen on stream? Miner was showing us how to play Bjorn.
Not ever, but it is.
No, not ever, but
season, for sure.
The season.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Yeah, going through the map as well does double the damage up there.
Oh, no wonder they all died. I thought it was the shadow, but no, it's the double damage molten core that just you can't run from that. Let's put it that way.
And it's all GTG in the kill feed. 70% kill participation for Makamon. Well deserved. Has been the standout player.
Yes.
On the side of GTG. Also want to give Skeevy a shout out. I feel like not to underestimate, but I mean it's 2-2, and I'm going to stand by what I said earlier. The teams are quite evenly matched.
Yes, I agree. I think Skeevy or Skeevy. I'm saying Skeevy, so we can hedge our bets here.
We can. One of us can be wrong.
Because we're both definitely wrong about Burkrow, so that we can get laughed at for that.
Just correct me on Twitter, guys. I'll mute you.
We can't. No, that's not true. We are open to being corrected on how your names are pronounced. I will say that I'm looking forward to see how DYG respond now, because they kind of just, Route 66 was kind of finding where they were full holding, and then GTG would force their way through with that last team fight in overtime. And they full held second point, forced their way through. Third point, the same. And then they kind of struggled on first point. It wasn't a one-sided stomp, but now GTG looked on another level from DYG. Like I said, they found another gear, and DYG, they're going to have to dig deep. Use that experience that Seraphim and Donnie may bring, and bring the team together and say, we're headed over to Busan now, a map that is a favorite of South African teams. How are we going to deal with what they're doing? Because Busan is a map, I think, Defect, that favors GTG style quite a lot with how the maps are laid out.
Indeed, it is. A lot of those maps are very sort of enclosed and lends themselves to Reinhardt hammer swings and not so much to dive. The exception of, I think it's Shrine. the drums.
Yeah.
The one of the big drums, which is quite open and lends itself much more to, distance play. But if you're looking at Mecha Base or City Center, it's definitely going to be Reinhardt favorite maps, which, getting out the Reinhardts and the Lucios have just been the home of Resticon, Restioson.
Absolutely, and if you can play the aggressive style, but I'm also looking at the likes of the Torbjorn and the Symmetra, which I think have been something that in the last few maps GTG have been leaning on with great success, and they're going to do that again here. Mako Moon on the Symmetra, Miner on the Torbjorn. You can set the turrets up in awkward spots to push through, and I think if they win this first team fight, GTG, Dynacor are going to be hard pressed to fight their way back through these awful chokes.
Yes, but also this map does lend itself to quite a few cute teleporter spots for going in on the attack with the Torbjorn, so I wouldn't count them out completely on that front either.
Yeah, that is fair, and both teams here will be running the teleporters, so see who gets the better advantage. You'd have to think it plays into GTG's hands once again, teleporting around the back now. Great spawn from Estio-san, it's the kill. He takes his life, unfortunately, with the martyrdom proc, but that's a good start for them, but now they are down a main tank. They have demech the D.Va as well, so pretty healthy position here for GTG. The laser beams in Burkro's back, making it so difficult for him to move around. And look at that, something can't Miner getting the kills. Restio-san from the top row back in the mix here, just gonna swing all willy-nilly. Needs to be careful dropping low, lamp committed here, but this is a strong position for GTG. Burkro recognizes he needs to get dead so he can regroup with his team, and now GTG gets set up on this forward choke.
Yeah, and I'd like to draw attention to the Symmetra difference in this one. We all know Seraph, jack of all heroes, every single one, doesn't maybe know all of the sick turret spots that Makamon has, because he's been getting so much more value and ult charge out of his Symmetra turrets.
Ooh, interesting teleport around the back here. Only the tanks going through, and Burkro isolated now. Only the D.Vas responded. Something cat trying to get that kill. Shatter comes off, but it is cancelled by a kill. So unfortunately, Restio-san not going to find any value out of his ultimate here, and that's given Dynacor the space to move forward. The chink in the armor found here against GTG, and now they can close down these remaining kills. Torbjorn doing so much work, but won't be able to carry this one through. So 50% on the clock, but finally DYG find a way through.
A good first showing from the defensive side of GTG, but let's see how they hold up having to attack into this, because like I mentioned, those Symmetra turrets have been very valuable for the attack of DYG, and it looks like the defense are loving this rotation.
Ooh, yeah, very nice rotation. Lots of ults committed here. Firing the hole, going on the back. This could be a huge ultimate from Chaotic. Doesn't find much. The lamp protecting the team there. Molten Core now through the front. Scavy not fleet-footed enough to get away from that. You don't really expect to see the Lucio die. The charge. Burkro lining it up, thinking about if he wants to go through. Restio-san will drop. So main tank is down here for GTG, but they still have pretty decent numbers. Seraphim's in the back line, nobody really dealing with him now, but it's a front line where GTG are going to put their focus. Makomon with the double kill, Seraphim with a kill in the back line as well. Self-destruct over the time, but Makomon, the Symmetra, getting more value right now. They just need to turn and deal with Seraphim though. He's doing so much work in the back line. Finally, Makomon takes matters into his own hands. Burkro will down 57, 8, 9, 10, 60% on the clock for Dynacor Gaming, but you'd have to think the cleanup is forthcoming. No, Chaotic, he thinks he can make it happen, and he might just be right. He gets the kill with the mine, he gets another with his ultimate. The Shadow comes through, that's really on point. Get out of here. Restio-san's had enough, but DYG have not. 3 players coming in now, including 2 tanks. No healers gonna be joining the fray though, but they're getting so many kills here. The D.Va is demech, but they have to deal with Seraphim. He's got so much charge, but finally he does end up going down, and the point is flipped. The stall not good enough to get more time off the clock, but DYG, you're gonna be happy with that.
DYG, yes, managing to capture the Magic 85, the one fight territory. The Lucy and the Sim might scramble the math, but it's going to be a trickle fight if they can touch.
Yes.
So basically, we need 1.5 fights from the side of DYG to take the first half of Busan.
They will want to do that, get the momentum going in their direction, because it's been so far in GTG's favor, and it's not a good start, but they've taken down Makomon, who was such a big part of winning that previous team fight. With the Symmetra down, can they push through the charge through onto Kuberin? The DMEC is there, now the Molten Core through as well, not quite on the level of Mito's Molten Cores, but should be enough here. Self-destruct comes through, the tire comes through from Chaotic and finds a pretty good kill. Sound barrier committed quite late here. Is it going to be enough with no tanks on the field here for our red squad? Do they have the power to push through? Donimay's gone down, but they're losing players on G2G. Whoa, Restiosan stopping dead in his tracks there as he gets back on point, and the point is flipped 99%, and a late death from Miner. I just spell the doom here for GTG.
Yeah, this is the touch or get eliminated zone, at least for this map. Those turrets being worth their weight in gold. There's 3 turrets on the floor.
Yeah, they're not even hiding. They're just on the ground. Somebody deal with them. Sky Bunny has gone down. Big Shatter onto the hole.
That's a game winner.
Is the follow-up there? So far it is Makomon with his own turrets. Something Cat will go down, but now they just have to clean things up, close it down. Can they do it? Kuberin, the last man standing here for DYG, spawns nowhere to be found in overtime. And that is going to be the point flipped. Can they get in time? No, they can't. GTG will start things off well on Busan.
What a back and forth. And I think that hero satyr from Restio's son was absolutely the momentum swing they needed.
That was the moment that turned it for them.
Oh, I'm sweating. I need a stiff whiskey after this one to get my nerves back under control.
I think they're all quite young on the side of GTG, so they probably.
Well, I can drink.
But imagine if we're feeling that way, how must these players be feeling right now?
Yeah, I mean, I've always felt, from my side, I don't know about you, some things, but my competitive experience, I always felt like a cool focus during the game. It's only afterwards that I get the shivers. So, hoping for their sake it's the same, and very different look coming out of the side of DYG here.
Yeah, nothing different on the other side, though. GTG have found their composition, and they're going to run it under any circumstances, do or die here. And if they win this map, they win the series, and that'll be a very significant upset. So all to play for here for both teams as the ball comes through here on the front line. Burkra putting the pressure on GTG. Another big anti-heal. Scavy, really the standout performer here for me of this Dynacor squad this series. He's been hitting so many enormous anti-heals, making it so difficult for this close composition, this tight-knit brawl comp to find any value.
Yeah, absolutely, and he's just the doorstop for the pacing that GTG are trying to set. When they get too aggressive, he is the one coming in with the punish, with the anti, with the sleep, and they've just not been able to really adapt to that. And Something Cat's just not been eating the nades either, which I know is hard to do on ZA ping. Don't get me wrong, but it's still the buck stops at the diva.
Yeah, I agree with you for sure. Kuberin finds himself a little bit out of position. It's been a bit of a theme of his play, I have to say. That boot might have spelt the doom here. Can they get the kill? 1v1 against attack visoring Soldier, not really what Lixodian wants to do, but he does end up going down. Now this turret is swinging all over the place to find kills. Justice rains down from above, finds a double, does get taken down, but Restio's son, the last man standing. That's going to be that for that team fight. 60% already up here. This is the map we thought would favor DYG Defect, and so far that's been the case. Yeah,
so the Seraphim flanking is just splitting their attention so much, and for what it's worth, it does deal damage. The animation of it turning doesn't interrupt the damage flow. So
okay,
weird Overwatch things, but here we are.
Well, both teams have the DPS, and Nano's primal range. That's not really what you want to do. Nice charge from Restio's son to put a bit of damage on the ball. Both tanks putting so much pressure on the team here. Really aggressive play. Kuberin dropping low, taken down once again. They're going to have to camp this body to prevent Donnie from getting the Rezzle, or just kill the Mercy. The minefield now on the point. Ooh, Sky needs to be careful there. Moving back towards the point, but this is good for GTG. They found something here. A chink in the armor of the DYG. Destruct over the top just to clean things up, and GTG will regain control, but it's going to have to be perfect play from here on out.
Yeah, all but emptying the tank, and look, the legs just runs away. Like he was sitting there the whole fight, getting his value. It wasn't enough this time because he ran into 4 or 5 ults.
Yeah.
And he just goes back home.
He did drop first, we do have to say. So
All right. So.
that
I actually
positioning.
I did miss that. My bad then.
No, it's okay, Vic. We all make mistakes as the teams push forward now. DYG looking to find a way through here. 40% on the clock pretty much. And that's turret down. So you can see the kind of strategy here. Deal with the turret and then look
they're waiting to deal with the turrets and things before they take the fight. Which is good discipline.
Ooh, Justice comes in a little bit late on the sound barrier, you have to say there, for the Lucio, but Donnie has gone down. That might be exactly what GTG need to clean this up. Mako Moon getting that kill onto Scavia as well, so no healers left for DYG, and that's going to allow GTG to just push on through. The ball will skedaddle on out of there, but GTG, well, we said no mistakes, they haven't made any yet, and now they've got some multis to work with.
Yeah, now that the tank's being refueled, and this is now... I think we're going to see a lot of Qs coming out in the next fight. It might be back into that Temple of Anubis, just like last man standing. Like press Q, and whoever can clutch out wins. And my money's going to be on DYG as much as I love the underdog story.
Well, if the Outback seems to go by, they have the bigger advantage here. We'll have to see what happens once the dust settles as the Primal Rage comes in now on the front rage. Molten Core in the other direction, Symmetra ulti committed as well. Tactical Visor on the side, and that's the one getting the value. Double kill, Chaotic pumping in damage over the top as well. Really, Seraphim has opened things up here, allowed Chaotic the space to work with on over the top, and that's going to be that. Just one player left, not for long, as Chaotic finds his 4th of the team fight, and DYG flip things back in their favor. The stall unlikely to be forthcoming here when you've got the little man with the little legs as your front line. It's not likely to come through, and we are going all the way here to Fake.
Oh, the maximum amount of maps played, very nearly.
Well, technically, I suppose you could have 7 or 8 maps.
Yeah, but look, do we even have rules for that?
We just have rules for that. We have rules for everything.
Our producer confirming in the background that we do not.
No, he doesn't know what he's doing.
Of course. This map, I feel like... looks like the DRG is sticking to what worked last night. These large range flanking play, which I don't mind, but I have a feeling we're just going to see GTG run into the little cubby hole underneath the stair and stand there, 3 times in a row, and that's going to be 99% ult charge, or point charge.
Now that does play into Chaotic's hands a little bit though, so that was close. The Boop almost getting a couple of kills there, and here they are set up under this little space here. Burkrow, though, that is a huge Boop from Luxodian. He paid off so well on Nepal for GTG, and he's done so again. Look at the space that creates. They're relying on the chaos that Burkrow brings on the ball on DYG, and once he goes down, they're kind of isolated and easily dealt with by GTG.
Can we get it out? Oh no!
No.
That's a late kill. That's a very bad stagger, and Seraphim swapping over to the legs. I feel like I saw the Ashe set up on the middle high ground, and something cat just jumped up and dealt with her. So I think the legs is to the DUS boosting on me. I'll press shift and leave.
I think he's using the mobility to move around the map as well, take flanking angles very effectively, and the self-sufficiency means he doesn't have to have Dynamite on him the whole time.
Yes, and the lack of range as well from all the characters. Like the only one that can really contest him is Sky Bunny at long range.
And she doesn't really want to be shooting at the soldier. They have lost a player here on the initiation.
Raze comes out.
But the Raze is committed, as you say. This is a very nice setup for DYG on the high ground. Dynamite drops the Mercy. Makomon drops as well, but he pops his ulti just before, and that might actually be exactly what they need on the side of GTG. But no, Chaotic now, nothing to deal with him in the sky. The charge through onto the ball. Will they get that kill, or will another big anti-heal prevent that from coming through? Not quite, but they secure the kill and rest here, son, and they will secure this point on the side of GYG.
DYG, not GYG. If that's what you said, I
think the team names, we've been doing pretty well with how close.
Yeah, I would commend us as well. Better than could be expected of us.
That's on the back.
looking forward to going this. I think there's a bit of an attack advantage for the side of GYG here. GTG. Now you got me doing it. I say as I immediately run into 3 alts and die.
Yeah, it's a good thing it wasn't clear what team you're talking about, because
exactly, if you mess up the team, then you can think of either of them, and
especially with the teams that are so close together. Yeah, but look at the ultimate charge on GTG here, Defect.
Yes, I am, and it is quite beautiful to behold. And like I said, I think that overall there's enough beef in this comp with the Torbjorn armor and the bigger tanks to just rush in and be more aggressive in a way that favors GTG's playstyle.
Ooh, Restio-san gets a kill onto Cuba, and once again, the main tank dropping first for DYG. Self-destruct over the top, finds Chaotic. Donime has the res ready, but who does she choose to go for here? She popped Valkyrie as well, so a lot committed to this team fight for DYG, and they're not going to be able to take it. A really, really smart fight from GTG as well, only throwing in the 3 ultimates, so they can be really happy with what they've got to work with to try and close this one out.
Yeah, good discipline, which speaks to a team of a much higher caliber than at least the SR that we reported beforehand. Yeah. And these turrets also, it really slows down the ball and the Soldier and the Winston when they come onto point to try and touch and leave. It makes them have to hard commit, which is very much something that favors the Reggie and the big anti.
Oh my god. That was another sick anti-heal from Scavy over the top. Of course, Chaotic with a nice big barrage, making it look like he did all the work there, but really, really strong play from Scavy and Chaotic and the rest of DYG to clean that one up quickly, and they needed to clean that one up quickly.
Yeah, and it looks like we're going to see a Nano and a Primal going up against the 3 alts on the side of DYG, and 96 on the point. This is going to be last fight.
It is going to be
big anti again.
Through Diva taking a nap, a big anti again, as you say, and Miner, he'll drop first in that team fight. Finally committing ultis, but Chaotic taking matters into his own hand. A couple of critical kills coming through from the Pharah. That might just spell the end of this one for GTG, but Makumon, he's going to try and make it happen. He's already dropped, though, that tactical visor from the top. Going to clean things up here. Anybody going to get through? The little man with the little legs manages to get the touch, buying space for Restio-san. The Shatter onto Seraphim there will secure that kill, and that might open things up, but do they have anyone to touch the point? Yes, they do. Sky Bunny coming through onto point here. The trickle is real, but can they get the kills? The legs will up to come onto point here. The mine's on point, cleaning things up, and that will be that after a stellar back and forth series. DYG finally manages to win this one out.
Sure, man. 96 to 99 on map 6.
Map 3 of map 6.
Point 3 of map 6. Like, what an amazing treat.
Big shadow. Oh my god.
That was a game saver as well.
Absolutely it was. Unfortunately, not a game winner for GTG, but I mean, they might not come out with a W on the points list here, but they come out with a W in our hearts, I think, Defect. A really strong performance from a team we knew nothing about coming into this, going up against a well-known team, at least in name, that we saw from DYG, but new players on DYG, and I think we'll talk about player of the match in just a moment, Defect, but really standouts here besides what we'd expect to see from the more experienced players.
Like just a masterclass all around. We saw a bit of everything in this map: close games, hero games, games that rely on like sort of team comp and rush. Just the whole 9 yards. This had everything in it. This was one of those. Feels like a Bollywood movie where there's just the only thing we're missing was the dance number, the music number randomly in the middle.
Well, there might be a dance number going on now.
Yeah, it was. Someone's chatting a little game of Among Us at on Route 66. Excellent Overwatch. Amazing. 10 out of 10.
Absolutely.
Everyone around. Everyone should smile tonight when they go to bed.
Yeah, absolutely. I know I will be in many hours when I have finished studying for my exam that I have tomorrow that I really should be studying for, but I'm here bringing you this Overwatch match, and I'm so glad I did, because really, as you say, 10 out of 10, Overwatch what we've seen, if not in skill level, at the very least in entertainment level. And I think at the end of it all, GTG going down 3-2 here, but they can be so happy with how they performed today. Their first broadcasted match, and they really took good account of themselves. So Defect, why don't you tell us who your player of the match is?
There are so many standout players and performances, and it could go back and forth between whichever team was winning at the time, but the one that consistently clutched and just denied the tempo for GTG, and that was Skevy. 100%. Those anti-nades, the sleeps to ward off the aggression. A couple of times I saw him pick off the Pharah when it was Mongo, what other name? Marco someone on the like solo Pharah. It would just like punish that aggression. Absolutely a linchpin. I don't think DYG would have won this if they had, not only if they had a different player, but if they had a different player, or if they had Skevy on a different role. Yes. The match where we saw them play Lucia were the maps where they struggled a bit.
Yes.
And I think that Anna was really the big difference maker here. So Skevy 100% man of the match, player of the game.
Yeah. I completely agree with you there. I think I was when GTG had that momentum going, I was disappointed, in fact, that we wouldn't be able to give player of the match to Skevy, because I really felt like on a team with a lot of experienced heads, Chaotic, Seraphim, Donyme, he really stood out as a player that was making big plays. And we don't give the love to supporters as much as we sometimes wish we could, but actually usually when we do give it, it's to Anna players, and he showed us why. He was able to, like you say, stymie the aggression of GTG, which is really the big strategy they were relying on, and he was a big part of shutting them down and closing out the team fights, for preventing them from getting momentum in team fights on the side of GTG. So yeah, really strong performance from DYG and Skevy in particular. And looking on the other side, of course, we have to give a huge shout out to all of the players actually from GTG. We spoke up Makomon quite a lot in that match, but Restio-san was doing a lot of work on the front line, and maybe it was no brain, no aim plays from the Reinhardt ultra charge aggressive plays, and probably we should be looking more to his supports for his big plays, but still really strong play from the whole GTG side. Yeah,
Restio-san was definitely the conductor of the aggro train. Everyone just hops to the pacing he sets with those pins that, like very accurate pins. Pinning, Reinhardt charging is a skill shot. It is a hard thing to land, as much as DPS players will say it isn't. And landing those consistently and building up ult charge and those big shadows, he's a solid, aggressive main tank. And I want to say solid, I want to say overwhelming main tank. And on the other side, I would like to point out also Lixodian? Exodia? Guys, please, I'm struggling. Make your names normal. Who was also like that Lucio play, and the like in syncness they had with Restio-san just was plain to see. So
absolutely. And shout out, of course, to Miner, who we are presuming is the actual conductor of the aggressive train and of this team in general. We saw a lot of moves that looked very well choreographed. Of course, Eichenwald springs to mind. Nepal Village as well, another map where they looked like they had a plan and they executed that plan. And you'd have to expect that Miner, the experienced head coming into this team, is probably the guy driving that kind of practice. So
yes.
Really, if we could name all the players, we would, but we don't want to be here all evening, guys. It is already 10 p.m. That was a 6-game series, so well played to both teams. Skevy, our man of the match. Dynacor, our victors here, 3-2 over GTG in this Group B matchup. Kind of shuffles up our expectations, our power rankings just a little bit. The relative strengths of these two teams kind of place them a little bit differently in our heads, I think. But that is going to be that, guys. My name has been Sun Phoenix. You can find me at Sun Phoenix on Twitter. I tweet about many things, mostly Formula One these days. And oh my God, I wanted to cry earlier today because of the race. But let's not get into that right now. Defect, where can we find you on Instagram?
You can find me at defect_ZA on Twitter, or trolling the Cowser boards at defect number 0069 on Discord. So message me, I'm very alone.
Of course, our production today was handled by the Peach ZA at the Peach ZA on Twitter and on Twitch. He doesn't stream much, not Twitch, YouTube. Apparently, he's now a hashtag YouTube
streamer. He got bought out by YouTube.
He got one of those lucrative YouTube deals that Dr. Disrespect got, or whoever it was. Thankfully, he did it without getting banned on Twitch first, as far as I know, at least. So you can find him at the PZA on Twitter, and presumably YouTube /channel some series of random characters. Of course, if you want to get involved in anything related to local Overwatch, Cowser is the place to be. Competitive Overwatch South Africa at ZA Overwatch on Twitter if you want to keep up to date with any matches that are happening, any tournaments that are happening. And of course, the Discord channel, which is popping up in the chat occasionally. That's really where the meat and potatoes of Cowser comes out. So you can follow us on Facebook as well. I mean, you can. I wouldn't recommend it. I think you should delete Facebook and
don't use Facebook, but if you do, follow us on Facebook.
Follow us on Facebook. We have an Instagram as well. I don't know if we've ever posted on there since we made it a couple of months ago. And also, obviously, we have a Twitch, as you guys are well aware of by now. But we also have a YouTube if you want to catch any of the VODs. Of course, Twitch VODs expire, but we send everything through to YouTube. If you want to go catch up on all the matches there, and we've got a pretty good archive of all of our broadcasted matches there if you'd like to catch up. So guys, that's been the Buffalo Cup week 3. Next week we've got 2 matches. We're going to try and get at least 2 matches casted. Each team, I moved my camera there. Each team casting playing 2 matches. So a lot of Overwatch happening, and that's going to be our last sort of match before we jump into the bracket stage and head towards the pointy end of the tournament. So guys, hopefully we'll see you next week. So enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see you then.